Hello everyone, I am Professor Nayana Sneh, Department of Information Technology, Parvati Bhai Gilba College of Engineering, Vagoli. So in the last video, we have seen about the basic of software, then software characteristics, software nature, then software engineering as a layer technology. So in this video, we'll proceed with software process. Software process. So here is the diagram of software process framework, which consists of the framework activities, task set. Task set consists of the different tasks, milestone, work product, or we can say the actual product, then SQA points that are nothing but the software quality assurance point, and the umbrella activities. So starting with this framework, we'll go with the very basic thing, that is the umbrella activities. So there are number of umbrella activities in the software process. The first is software project tracking and control. So software development team compares the predefined schedule with the current schedule. If the plan doesn't match with the predefined schedule, the necessary action has to be taken by the development team. So second is the risk management. So risk is the event that may or may not occur, but if it happens, then it causes some unwanted outcome or it causes some bug. So hence the proper risk management is required by the software process. Then next is the software quality assurance. So SQA, that is software quality assurance, is nothing but the plan and systematic pattern of the activities. Those are required for quality of the software. For example, the meetings in every stage of software development improves the quality of the software. That we are going to see the FTR, that are nothing but the formal technical reviews. So the formal technical reviews meeting conducted by the testing staff, the purpose of this meeting is to detect the quality and problems and the suggestions so that the quality of the software get improved. The technical staff focus on the quality from the customer point of view. So they actually tells you what actually the customer needs, what are the customer's actually requirement, and from that the assessment is done and the quality of the software can be improved. So the next is the measurement. It includes the effort required to measure the software. So software can be measured by the line of the code or the size of the software. So indirect measure are the software quality. Again, the software quality will consist of the different characteristics as we have seen previously, the quality in the quality focus. So the next is software configuration and the management, that is SCM. This phase manages the effect of the change throughout the software process. Then the next is reusability management. It defines how software component of one application can be reused for the another application. That is the criteria for the product reuse. Then the eighth one is work product preparation and production. It includes the activities required to create the documents, logs, form, list, user manual for the software development. So these are the umbrella activities under the software process. Then we are going to see the myths. Type of software myths. The firstly I would like to tell you what are the myths. Myths are nothing but the fable actions, we can say, or we can say the imagination or the stories which may exist but they are not verifiable. So we can say as myths. So there are three different types of myths in software development. First is the management myth, second is the customer level myth, and third is the practitioner level myth. So firstly we'll see the management level myth. So in management level myth, there are different 6 types of myths and the realities. So the first myth is manager thinks there is no need to change the approach to the software development. We can develop the same kind of software that we have developed 10 years ago. But what actually the reality is, the application domain may be same, but the quality of software needs to improve according to the customer demand. The customer demands change time to time. So the next myth is we can buy software tools and use them. Yes, we can buy the software tools and use them, but what is the actual reality? Software tools are ready-made software that helps in creation of other software. Example is software front page or the software Microsoft Publisher. All this software can be used for the web development. Rational row is also used for UML, that is for you creating the use cases and the sequential class diagrams. Such softwares are available for every stage of software development, but the majority of the majority of the developers do not use them because they have some limitations. So if we do buy the softwares, but there is no necessity every developers will use them. The third is manager thinks whenever we need we can add the more programmers for the faster software development, but what actually the reality is, when the peoples are added to the project or to the team, the training must be given to the newcomers. Hence the previous people which are working on the product needs the time to train the people. Hence the project cannot be completed within a given timeline. So the next is, if developer outsource the software project to the third party, he can be tension free and wait for the project to done smoothly. But what is the reality when the organization is unable to manage and control the software project internally? It will be very difficult for them to get project done by the third party or by outsourcing it. So this is the reality for this software if the developers outsource the project for the third party. Then the fifth one is, there is a book that contains standards and the procedures for developing a software. It will provide the developer everything that he needs in the development process. But what actually the reality is, if there is a rule book exists, but still the question arises, is it actually used by the developer, or are software developers aware of these types of books and standards and procedures? Then does it contain all modern engineering practices? Is it a foolproof? Does it focus on the quality, or does it streamline to timely delivery? In most of the cases, the simple answer of these all queries is no. So if there exist the books which have some rules and regulations for developing a software, so software developers may not be using that books for really in every phases. The sixth one is, the organization has state-of-art development tools. They have latest configuration computers for developers to provide the good platform to produce their work efficient. Although they have the latest configuration computers and all the things, in actual scenario, the latest hardware configuration computers will not help actually producing the high quality softwares. But the computer aided software, that is the case, tools are very important for achieving the good quality software. So in the most of the organization, the software developers do not these case tools effectively and efficiently. So these are the management level myths. There are 6 types. Then the next type is customer level myths. So the customer level first myth is, only the general statement is sufficient and we do not need to mention the project details. But what actually the reality is, the only general statement is not sufficient for the project development. Other details like project requirement is also essential. Customer must provide the other information like design details, validation criteria. Hence, during the complete software development process, customer and developer communication is very essential. Then the next myth is project requirement continuously change, but we can easily accommodate it in a software. Yes, project requirement may change by the customer in different phases, but in reality, if changes are requested in early stages of software development, it can be easily carried out throughout the software process. But if the changes are requested in the later phase, then different factors may affect. Cost of the project may be affect, then the delivery of the project may be affect. So if the change is requested in maintenance and modification that are required in design and coding and testing, hence the cost of that project may increase. So this is the reality for this particular myth. Then the next types of myth is practitioner level, that is the developer level. So what developer thinks, once they write the program and get into work, their job is done. But actually most 60 to 80% of work is required after delivering a product to the customer for the first time. So this is the thing. And the second myth is, until I get programming I have no ways of until I get programming, I have no ways of accessing its quality. Or until I get program run, I have no way for accessing the quality. But actually the reality is the most efficient quality assurance mechanism can be applied during the project development. The formal technical reviews are there for assessing the quality throughout the development phase. Then conduct the various meetings by the technical team, so they can judge the program code and assess the program code, and they can tell the suggestions to improve the project quality. So these are the three types of myths. Actually the question is asked on this myths, what are different types of myth and explain any four. So if the question is likewise, you have to write these three types of myths with you can explain any one type. Maybe it may be the customer or practitioner or the management level. So you can write this. So in this video what we have seen the software process framework. Then we have seen the umbrella activities, which are software project tracking and control, risk management, software quality assurance, formal technical reviews, measurement, software configuration management, reusability management, document preparation and production. Then we have seen the three types of myths. There are management level myths, customer level myth and practitioner level myths. Management level myths are 6. These are the 6. Then we have customer level myths. There are 2 myths, and then the practitioner level, that is the developer level, that are the 2 myths. So this video will cover this part. From the next video we'll start with the process models and generic process activities. Thank you.